take the test. Here's a challenge. Can you knowledgeably answer and discuss the following questions? Every public high school senior under New York City Mayor Edward Sonnino will be able to. A truly great education is the economic and social equalizer. 1. Is the United States a co-signer of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights? Has the United States observed all the required obligations? 2. Which United Nations member states violate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a matter of governmental policy? Which are the human rights listed in the Universal Declaration? 3. How to explain the inconsistency or contradiction between the Declaration of Independence's assertion that all men are created equal with the unalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the fact that slavery persisted for another 70 years. Also, how to explain the inconsistency that some of the signers of the Declaration of Independence owned slaves themselves. 4. Which human rights do the three monotheistic religions explicitly, unambiguously violate in their holy books? 5. What are the essential differences between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, which account for their historical conflicts and animosities? How does the Old Testament differ from the New Testament? How does the Quran both resemble and differ from the Old Testament and the New Testament? Is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict really about land? What is the real solution to the conflict? 7. In the Bible's Old Testament, who exactly were Samson and Delilah? Who exactly were David and Goliath? 8. Why is the Vatican in Rome, not in Jerusalem, since Jesus never went to Rome? 9. Why was the first mosque built in Jerusalem, directly on top of the ruins of the Jewish Second Temple, destroyed by the Romans, and not in Mecca, where Muhammad lived? 10. What are the origins or roots of anti-Semitism? 11. What are the origins or roots of slavery? 12. What are the roots of racism? Why is there still racism and white supremacy in the United States? How to end racism? 13. What caused the Great Depression of 1929? Why did it last until World War II? Why did it end with World War II? 14. What exactly is QE, or quantitative easing? Is QE inherently inflationary? 15. What were the causes of World War I? 16. What were the causes of World War II? 17. Why did the U.S. fail in Vietnam? 18. Why did the U.S. fail in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Libya? 19. Why did Iraq's Saddam Hussein decide to invade Kuwait? Was he tacitly encouraged to do so by the Bush administration, wittingly or unwittingly? 20. Why exactly did communism fail as an economic system? 21. Why were Hitler and the Nazis able to come to power? 22. Why were Mussolini and the fascists able to come to power in Italy? 23. Why was Lenin able to take over Russia and impose communism? 24. Does the United States really depend on foreign capital to finance its budget deficits, as the conventional economic wisdom asserts? 25. Do budget deficits really cause trade deficits, as mainstream economists insist? 26. Do budget deficits really cause inflation, as mainstream economists insist? 27. Do budget deficits really cause interest rates to rise, as mainstream economists insist? 28. Do budget deficits really have an impact on the dollar's exchange rate, as the conventional economic wisdom asserts? 29. Are budget deficits and the national debt necessarily passed on to future generations? 30. Why does the United States still have widespread poverty 55 years after Lyndon Johnson proclaimed the war on poverty? 31. What are the causes of police brutality? How to end it? 32. If addictive drug control laws haven't worked, is it logical to expect gun control laws to work? 33. What are the two types of inflation requiring different policy responses? What are the real causes of inflation? 34. Has gold been a good investment since 1980? How does it compare with stocks, with real estate? 35. Are long-term capital gains taxes economically counterproductive? Are they unfair? 36. Since the Mueller report contains various criminal indictments against Trump, why was Trump not prosecuted during his presidency? What is the Office of Legal Counsel rule on the matter of indicting sitting presidents? Who ordered the rule? Is the rule invalid, corrupt, fraudulent, and unconstitutional? 37. How do you properly value real estate? 38. How do you properly value a stock? What factors make the stock market go up or down? 39. Is the euro the main cause of the European Union's 10-year economic crisis? 40. Does the asylum law of the United States and of the United Nations apply to people running away from poverty and crime in their country, or only to people persecuted by their own governments? Should asylum requests be made at U.S. consulates in the countries of the applicant's residence, not at our border? 41. Is global warming clearly due to man-made pollution or to natural forces and cycles, according to science and the climate history of the Earth, considering that there have been 5 ice ages and 5 major global warmings before human beings even existed? 42. What are the major mistakes in American economic, social, and foreign policy over the past 100 years? Which would have been the correct policies? 43. Russia is no longer a communist nation. So what type of nation is it? And why does it think of the United States as an enemy? What about China, which is led by its Communist Party, but abandoned communism about 30 years ago and has a capitalist economy? 44. Why is there widespread anti-American sentiment in the world? What does the ugly American refer to? In quotes, the ugly American. 45. Is the death penalty unconstitutional? Is it not cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the 8th Amendment of the Constitution? 46. Is the estate tax unconstitutional in violation of the 5th Amendment? 47. Who are the most celebrated composers of classical music and opera? From Germany, from Austria, from Italy, from France, from Czechoslovakia, from Poland, from Hungary, from Spain, from Russia, from Hungary, from England. 48. Who are the jazz greats? Composers and musicians, American and foreign. 49. Who are the most celebrated artists, architects, and designers, past and present, American and foreign? Again, high school seniors in New York City public high schools under my mayoralty will be able to knowledgeably answer and discuss all these questions. Think what that will mean for the city of New York.